Imagine you're at Thanksgiving, you walk into your celebration, wherever that is. It could be with a bunch of friends, it could be with family, doesn't really matter, all right? And you're feeling really good. So let's just say that you brought a beautiful vegan bowl, or you bought a really beautiful organic carrot cake, okay? Because you're on a wellness journey, or maybe you're on a more self-conscious journey about the planet and the animals, okay? Or you brought in, ingredients to make a mocktail again, because you're like, you know what, I need to get better about that, and about over alcohol consumption. So you're bringing things that relate to your journey that you're on now. So what this is telling me, this is really exciting, because it's telling me that you're walking a more spiritual path, right? You're starting to question the social norms. Is this right for me? Or am I trying to meet somebody else's expectations? Am I trying to, fulfill their story of what they expect the world to look like? And I'm just a secondary role in their story, right? You don't need their validation. You don't need validation, because you don't feel obligated to choose what they think you should choose. So you begin to question, and you're on that questioning journey. You're starting to walk a more spiritual path. You're starting to understand your personality type. And maybe for you, the conventional Thanksgiving isn't your scene. So you're going to bring something that's more you. And just this little tiny thing, which you might not think is a big deal, it's a big deal. Because what you're doing is you're bringing your true self to life. You're self-actualizing yourself. You have a belief, you're sticking to your belief, and you're showing up as your true self. So it's funny, and this is how this works. When you start getting on this path, you won't feel guilty, because you know you're doing it for the betterment of yourself. And when you're better, everybody's around you is better. You've elevated yourself, your conscious self. You're breaking into that true self, the true self that's on a higher conscious state. So you're emanating from a higher conscious state, right? So what's to feel guilty about? Why would you feel guilty about that? You should feel proud about that. You should feel good about that. That you're not listening, you're not falling prey to the ego mind that wants to create drama. Or you don't need somebody else's validation. It's like, Nina, why didn't you bring your stuff that you always bring? You know what? Because I'm changing. That no longer suits me anymore. And honestly, you don't even need to answer. I chose to bring this year because it felt better for me. It felt like the better choice. Done with the conversation. And if somebody doesn't understand that about you, then maybe they really didn't understand you in the first place. And that's okay too. Because maybe that person is no longer going to suit you on your spiritual journey. So you can just feel good about that. Like, oh, that's okay. Maybe that person isn't going to support me in where I want to go, what I want to do, and how I want my life to look like moving forward. And if somebody's, harassing you, because I know I got harassed about your mocktail choice, instead of coming in, just wanting a cocktail. It's like, are you an alcoholic? I got all kind of rages on that, And I was just like, no, I'm just choosing differently. That's all I said. And what's the comeback to that, right? No, I'm just choosing differently. But see, this is the funny thing. Because when I started my journey and I started walking my own spiritual path, self-actualizing that true self. And if you don't know about me, my name is Nina Zapala. This is a place I talk about spiritual typology and the soul's role in personality typing. And it is all about coming into that true self and building relationships, a true self, an authentic relationship with yourself. Right? So that's what I really get into. And I want to bring your true self to life. So this is what I teach. So this is the cool thing about this. When you get on this journey, when you get really true to yourself, you're living from your truth and your truth only. First of all, it's a lot. The freedom is amazing because you're not like being caught up in the drama and trying to catch yourself. Oh, what did I tell that person? Did I tell them I'm drinking or not? What? All that goes away. Your life becomes simpler, right? But the cool thing is, I noticed when I started doing this, other people were like, oh, you know what? I really wanted to cut out. I really wanted to cut out like this cruelty to animals that we humans think we can do. And this is just my 2 cents. It doesn't have to be you. I'm just giving examples. I really want to get into that too. How are you doing that? And it sparks questions. Drinking is another thing. Oh, you know what? I know I really need to feel, I need to lay off the alcohol because I've seen that it's getting to become very detrimental in my life. Like, how are you doing that? And it just sparks questions. Same with the healthy eating. So trust me, there's gonna be people in the room that are gonna appreciate you standing for who you are and coming to the table with something you feel really good about. Because you've questioned yourself. You've gone into your personality type. And maybe your personality type is like, you know what? No, I don't want to please everybody anymore. I'm tired of doing that. It doesn't work in my life and it doesn't get me anywhere. Because I ignore myself. I'm not ignoring myself. Or maybe you're just unconventional like me and you're like, I don't like doing any of this stuff. Who's they? Who told us they? You know? And maybe you are conventional and you want to do this stuff, but maybe you want to do it healthier. Or maybe you don't want to feel so obligated to do every single thing of the tradition. Maybe you want to kind of start your own tradition with your family. So there's a myriad of different reasons why when you do what you feel is good for you, when you begin to question yourself, you start understanding yourself, and you start seeing that, whoa, this is an inherited belief. I don't really think like that anymore. Or you're waking up to saying, wow, that's really not my belief, or those aren't my values. Because you want to evolve yourself in a different direction. You're not going to judge anybody else. It doesn't make them wrong. It just means you're just taking a different path from them. And that's beautiful. And that's what makes the world so beautiful, because we're all on our different paths and we all need to respect each other for that. We don't need to constantly feed the ego. None of us do. None of us need to do that, because when we're feeding the ego, we're going down into that lower false self. It's a false self. It's not your true self. It is a false self. So it's beliefs, expectations, obligations, feeling you need to be validated, feeling that you need to be in the hustle. You need to be doing. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need any of that. That's a belief system that's been put upon us that we, in this day and age, need to start peeling away and start walking into our true self. That's all I'm going to say. I hope you enjoyed. I've got a blog about this. I got a fun blog about, what you bring to Thanksgiving reveals a lot about your personality type. So I thought this is kind of an interesting perspective for you to look at Thanksgiving and the dishes that you bring, to maybe see where you are on your spiritual journey, or to maybe give you some insights like, wow, I didn't really realize that about myself. And if you haven't, I've written a book on this. It gives you a lot of insight into who you are. It breaks down the illusions of life. I talk a lot about my personal story and history in here, letting you know if you're on a journey of self-discovery, if you want to self-actualize that true self, you're not alone. This isn't just a Nina story. It's an everybody story. And when I say everybody, I say it's the people that are seekers, that really want a wonderful life and to walk in betterment, to walk in their true self and be true to themselves, no matter the situation. And from right now, if you buy the book, and you send me the receipt, I got to work all this out. So just DM me or email me. Just go to my website. I'm offering a 20-minute free session. It's like a little clarity session. You'll learn a lot. It will change your life. Trust me. I've done it for a lot of people, and it has. But get back to Thanksgiving. Enjoy the week. It's gonna be fun. But I hope this video helps. And if it does help you and it gave you some insight, please share it with somebody that you think it could benefit. And please join this community, because I'm here to help. And if you have a question, as I say all the time, please pop the question in, because I want to help you. This is what I'm here for now. I want to help you on your journey, and I want to create a community where we're all in this together, where we're talking about personality typing, but we realize it's not the sole role of our life. The soul is the role of our life, right? But we realize this, and we're starting to awaken away from the paradigm of the traditional aspects of it, right? And we're getting into a more spiritual, holistic aspect of personality typing, which is quite fascinating. And it's so beneficial in any stage of life that you might be in. All for now. If you're in the States, happy Thanksgiving. If you're not, you can apply this situation to most gatherings, whether it's another holiday coming up, or even your Sunday dinners, okay? All for now. Enjoy, and happy, Nina.